Hello everybody, SlimKirby here. Welcome back to more of the Fire Emblem playthrough. Once again, I do apologize for the length of the last video. It did go a bit over time, but you know, we are starting this project out right. There's a lot of things to explain, a lot of things to talk about, and I want to make sure we're getting enough gameplay in, so don't expect all videos to be that length. I'll try to be a little more observant and try to end it kind of in the 25-minute at most range, but you know, there might be some times where some cutscenes go a bit long, and, you know, if that happens, it happens. So let's go ahead and get things started here. Finished Chapter 2 last time, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the next chapter, Chapter 3. So let's get ready to go. The secrets of her past revealed in the words of two knights of Lycia. Now, to meet her grandfather, Lyn heads west to Lycia and to her destiny. A mountain range separates the Sacae Plains from Bern. There are many bandits lurking here, the cruelest of which are the Talaver. They wreak havoc on both Sacae and Bern, and their savagery knows no bounds. On her 10th day away from the plains, Lyn witnesses their atrocities herself. Chapter 3, Band of Mercenaries. This place, the entire area is in ruins. Why doesn't their Marquis do anything to help? Talaver Mountain is home to a gang of vicious, ruthless bandits. No Marquis holds power here. My village was near here, on the other side of the mountain. My people were... The Talaver bandits came at night. It took only one night. The survivors numbered less than 10, including me. They're soulless beasts. I will never forgive them. Never. Lindis. I am not running away. I will be back someday. I'll be stronger. I will break their swords beneath me like twigs beneath a stallion's hooves. I will avenge my people. I'll do everything in my power. When the time comes, bring me with you. Sane. Don't forget me, either. Kent. Oh. You too, Slim? Thank you. Wait right there, little lady. What are you going to do to apologize, huh? Hey, she's quite a catch, eh, buddy? I bet the boss would give us a pretty penny for her. Yeah, she'd roughed me up a bit, so I figure fair's fair. It's no more than she deserves. What are we gonna do with her flying mule? Don't you dare touch her. What? You just watch your mouth, girlie? Do what you will with me, just... let her go, please. I beg of you. Ha ha ha, silly twit. Pegasi can only be found in Ilia. They're rare beasts worth more than you by far. We can sell it for a mountain of gold. Let it go? Ha! No, you can't. Come on, let's move. What's this? Be on your guard, Lindis. There seems to be some sort of commotion over there. That's a Pegasus. Could it be? Florina? Is that you, Florina? Ah, Lyn? Florina, what are you doing in a place such as this? Lyn, is it really you? Come now, no crying. I'm sorry. You are acquaintances? She's my friend. This is Florina, a Pegasus Knight in training from Ilia. She's a little uncomfortable around men. Tell me, Florina, what happened here? Well, when I heard that you had left, I decided to follow you. Then I saw this village. I flew down to ask if they had news of you. I didn't see those two, and, well... Did your Pegasus land on them? Well, a little. Aha! You heard her. She admits her faults. She stepped on my friend, and now she's got to pay. Did you apologize, Florina? Yes. I told them I was sorry many times over. They just wouldn't listen. Don't cry, it's alright. Lynn. Listen, she's obviously sorry. Can't we just let this pass? You don't appear to be injured or anything. No chance. The little girl goes with us by force if need be. Hey, come on out now, boys. The men are fair game, but don't put a scratch on the girls. Slim, we've got to fight back. Lynn, You're a Pegasus Knight, aren't you? You can fight, can't you? Yes. Listen carefully, Slim. We're facing bandits. They're underlings, but we can't take them too lightly. Let's clear them out of here. Are you ready? The layout around here might make it difficult to fight. The same holds true for our foe, too. If we use these walls just so they may ensure our victory. Lynn, who's that? This is Slim. He's still an apprentice, but he's my tactician. Oh, I see. Slim, I'm pleased to meet you. Okay, so we have our first Pegasus Knight. We have Florina. Florina is pretty much like the staple Pegasus Knight. Not very strong, very fragile in terms of defense and HP, but has pretty decent resistance, enough to really absorb magic attacks. And speed and skill, also really, really good. So yeah, a little frail, but definitely comes through once you kind of get her leveled up. So definitely don't ignore that, because Pegasus Knights can be very valuable, not just in terms of, you know, just having another warrior, but just also in the terms of the distance they can cover, because they have pretty much the same movement as a Cavalier, but they also don't have the problem of getting stuck on obstacles. They can actually fly over pretty much everything, so they're really good to have to kind of rescue villages, pick off enemies that are at a distance before they get close. Just kind of good units to use in that fashion. That's something that Florina is really, really good with. So before we get started with this chapter, I am going to do one thing here. I'm going to go to options. There's a lot of different things you can edit here. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn to Animation 2 for this, which gives basically a different animation window whenever you go into combat. I'll leave game speed where it is, but I might increase this in the future. Text speed, I'll put it at max, which means that pretty much from the get-go you'll just always see like all the text you need, where there's no, basically there's no auto-scroll really. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put it at max. As far as other stuff, I'm going to turn auto cursor off, just because, well, for reasons I guess I'll get into a little bit later. It's nothing too significant. Basically, if it's on, it'll always default your cursor on the main lord, but, you know, sometimes you don't really need to move your main lord, so it's good to just kind of have your icon where you think you need it most. Not going to auto end turn, and let's see. I guess I'll just periodically change the window color throughout the playthrough. Why not? Just for fun. Yeah, well, we'll just change it throughout. So, let's go ahead and start working on this chapter here. As you can see, Lynn does have the Manicotti now. The Manicotti is a sword, and it's also effective against infantry units. And when it says infantry, it actually means knight units and Cavalier units, which of course are not present on this battlefield, but it will definitely be helpful later on, and even then it's just a much better sword as it is. It does more damage than the Iron Sword. Hit percentage is a little bit lower, but it shouldn't be anything too significant for Lindis, just because she has a really high hit percentage as it is, and it has a really good crit rate as well. It's also not as heavy as the Iron Sword, which means that it's more likely to actually double attack as well. So we'll definitely be working on the Manicotti, and because of that, I can probably give Kent back his other sword. But I'll have Kent grab that first then, just so I can still use Len for another important movement in this specific turn. I'm also going to go ahead and equip the Iron Sword because... yeah, it looks like we have mostly axe units here, so I'll just basically play to that. So, let's go ahead and use Lyn to approach this house right here. Now, as you know, I ignored those houses in the last chapter, but these houses, whenever there is a red roof, that usually means that there's an item you'll get from that specific house. So these are houses you do want to enter, so do not forget to enter these houses. So we're going to do that right now. Is anyone there? Leave us alone, you thugs! Go away, go away! We've no more gold for you! No, wait, please, we're not bandits. We want to help the village. Please listen. Remain inside, everyone. I'll go see what's happening. Not bandits, huh? So who are you? My name is Lyn. My colleagues and I are just traveling through here. We saw some bandits about. We're going to deal with them, but we need you to go and warn the villagers. Hey, wait! The name's Will. I'm a traveler of sorts, too. Listen, these villagers have been kind to me. Mind if I fight with you? Not at all. We need all the help we can get. Welcome aboard, Will. So here we have Will. We have our first archer. So, as you can see, Will's stats are pretty well balanced right now. As far as in terms of his growths, he actually has a pretty decent strength growth for an archer class. But because of that, he does take not really much of a nosedive, but you know, his skill and speed growths aren't as high as they normally are for archers. But again, it's kind of a trade-off. Give you a little more strength with the trade-off of maybe not being as good at skill and speed. And he also has a pretty, again, when I say decent, I really mean decent, but a decent defensive growth as well for an archer, which, you know, normally you wouldn't expect archers to be defensive units. But Will doesn't do too bad, so he can honestly take a few hits here and there. But because he is an archer, obviously you're going to be using him for one thing, and that thing is indirect combat. So just to go ahead and demonstrate here, we have this unit across the wall. Trying to see how much damage we can do overall, which, okay, yeah, Florina can pretty much finish him off. So I'm going to go ahead and target this unit with Will here. Going to do 9 damage, going to be able to do that damage and not get counterattacked. And going to go ahead and use Florina here, who is using lances, by the way. I guess I didn't really point that out. And we're going to use Florina to finish off this guy. Florina's going to get a decent amount of experience to start with. But that's pretty much going to be them. And I guess we'll just go ahead and use Sane and march right here and take out this guy. And as you can see, Sane can actually double attack right here. And he can double attack with both weapons. But I'm going to focus on sword just because his sword rank is lower than his lance rank. Once he gets his sword rank up to D, I'll kind of use the weapons more evenly, I guess you could say. So now they're going to move their units. Now, one thing I should also probably mention in regards to flying units is they have a huge weakness when it comes to archers. If archers attack flying units, they'll do 3 times the amount of damage. So be very careful, especially with Florina, who has very low defense as it is. So just be careful of that and try to stay out of archers' ways if you can handle it. Always remember that you can look at an archer's movement, so if you ever see a red space available for archers to attack with, keep your flying units away from those red spaces. That's all I gotta say. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and also look at this to see where my options are. I'm gonna see if I can maybe lure this Myrmidon to attack Florina, just because, again, weapon advantage. Which, I guess I haven't really talked about the weapon triangle either. I mean, if you've played a Fire Emblem game, you pretty much know what the weapon triangle is. Basically, there are 3 main weapons, swords, lances, and axes. Swords have the advantage over axes, axes over lances, and lances over swords. Not only will you do slightly more damage if you're actually attacking the unit with the weapon triangle, but your hit percentage will also be a lot higher as well. So as you can see, we get 100% with a lance against a sword, but if I were to use this lance against this guy, for example, yeah, 77%. That's a huge drop considering, so obviously you want to pay attention to that stuff just because it can gain you a little bit of an advantage as you go through the map and all the battles in the game. So let's see, you're going to attack right here, so I'm going to go ahead and visit this house right here. You came to help the village? That's good. With so many bandits, I wasn't sure what to do. It's not much, but please, take this money. There's an armory to the southeast of us. Equip yourselves as you see fit and help us, please. So yes, we have some money, so when you get to that shop in the southwest or southeast over here, we can actually get some more items for our team, which is going to be very, very helpful. So anyway, as we know, this guy can move right here, so I'm going to move Florina here just so she can get the attack in on this guy. And as you noticed, Florina was able to move after she ventured in here. Basically, any mounted unit that visits a village or does some other sort of action, after they're done with that action, they actually can remove the remaining spaces they have. So that can be very, very helpful if you need to like kind of quickly grab a village, but then also get your units right back in the swing of things in terms of combat. So again, just a lot of different things you should take advantage of when you're going through this game. So yeah, let's go ahead and keep things moving here. I really am feeling sane right now in terms of moving forward in this playthrough. But one thing I am going to do is I am going to put Will a little closer to the action. I guess for now I'll go ahead and still... Well, actually, I guess it does make more sense to put Sane here. He can't double attack the archer or the brigands quite yet. When it comes to the archers, he can definitely do that, so we'll keep that in mind. But yeah, let's go ahead and move you here. And I guess for the next battle, I can just kind of focus on Kent more as opposed to Sane. But right now, Sane is having a very strong showing in terms of who I potentially want to use in this playthrough. Just because, again, his stats have been, at least in terms of what he's gained, has been superior. And here we are, Sane using that forest to his advantage. The guy only had a 24% chance of attacking, so that's very, very nice. It does look like that brigand is going to be coming for Florina, but I'm not really too worried about that. This guy is going to try to get the snipe on me, but that's okay. One thing I could try to do right here is because this guy is weakened, I could go ahead and use Will to get the kill on this guy. And then I can use these guys a little more effectively now too. Can Kent double attack this guy? He can, and he can get the kill too, so I'm very satisfied with that. Maybe I should have used the lance there, because as you can see, and this is again going with the green and red social knight trope that I talked about earlier. But Sane starts with an E in swords and a D in lances, and then Kent starts with a D in swords and an E in lances. So it's kind of cool how they're even opposites in that regard too, which I think is pretty interesting. But yeah, let's go ahead. I'll move Lynn up a little more. I'll move you over here to attack this guy. Then I'll start moving Florina as well. So I believe mercenaries and brigands can move the same amount of spaces. 5, 5, so that's pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so unfortunately I can't get up there. Trying to find out the best way to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so unfortunately there's not really a way I can do this without this guy coming in and getting an attack on Florina as well. So I think I'm going to abandon this plan for right now and just park her right here where she can't be attacked by anyone. And I'll try to swoop in and get that attack a little bit later. But of course, they're going for Kent for some reason. Don't quite understand why, but I'll deal with it for now. And I guess we'll just go ahead and move on from here. So I'll go ahead and get this finishing blow on you. How am I doing for experience here? You're about to level up, and you're a little further away, but you'll get there. So let's do a hit with Sane, just to get that level up, draw that level up out there. Not bad, it's strength, and it's also skill, which is one of his worst stats, but still, I'm surprised at how much skill he has right now, my god. His defenses could be a little better, but, you know, that could always change over time. We'll just have to wait and see. And let's also get the final hit with Kent in as well. Not going to give him a level up, but he'll be on his way there at the very least. I guess I'll start getting Lyn into position too. So we do have a shop down there. I do want to buy some stuff from the shop. Mainly, let's see. Sane is running low on swords, so I might want to buy an extra sword for him. And I also want to get an Iron Lance for Florina as well, just because Slim Lance is great. It has a small crit rate bonus. It's also very easy to use, so you're more than likely going to double with it. But it's also not very strong either, so it's always good to have like an Iron Lance on standby, just in case you need to do a little bit more damage in the process. So I'll go ahead and buy that with Florina, since the boss can't attack Florina because he doesn't move. And she has, I think, the best inventory right now, so I need an Iron Sword and an Iron Lance. Meanwhile, I'm going to use Will to kind of weaken this boss a little bit. Draw your swords! Well, I have a bow, but I'll draw my weapon, so to speak. We're not listening to any of your stinking apologies. For a minute, I thought Will was actually going to get a critical hit right there, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll go ahead and move you up as well, and you two are just going to stand over here and look pretty. I guess I could also try to get a hit in with Kent as well, but then I won't be able to get another hit in with Will, and I probably just kind of want to focus on using Will right now just to get him some extra experience. Will's a character I don't really like using that much because there's a lot better bow units in the game. But if Will does alright in these next two chapters, I might actually be tempted to use him in this playthrough. We'll just have to wait and see. So I'm going to go ahead and buy the Iron Sword, going to buy an Iron Lance, and that's pretty much going to do it for that. And Sane, you're the one running low on swords, so I'll send you down here. I'm going to go ahead and get another shot in with Will. I could wait one more turn just to get some extra experience, but at this point, may not necessarily be super worth it, so I may not even worry about that. Also notice how we're able to double attack this guy. Since this guy is using a steel axe, I believe that also is a much heavier weapon, and because he doesn't have a super great constitution, I mean, it's pretty high, I mean, compared to my units and whatnot, but it's still going to weigh him down quite a bit, and he's going to lose a lot of speed because of that. And since pretty much all of my characters have a lot of speed, doubling him should be very, very easy. But, okay, you haven't given the weapon yet, have you? No, you have not. Okay, well, I'll wait one more turn, and then I'll finish it up this turn. So let me go ahead, give you your Iron Sword, put you here, gonna go ahead and use one more attack with Will. Thankfully, he'll not critical, so I can still give Lyn the experience. And you know what? Let's use the Monocotti, see if we can get that critical attack. Hey, listen, there's something I wanted to ask you. Begging for your life so soon, wench? Are you Taliver bandits? Taliver? Those greedy monsters? We're nothing like them. Those fiends will kill even women and children. We're from Caelin, and we know a little of something of honor. We don't harm women for one thing. Hehehe. After all, why kill what you can sell? If you're not Taliver, then there's no reason for you to die here today. If you would like to tuck your tails and flee, do so now. No more courtesies! You're going to learn to watch your tongue. Ugh! You'll live to regret this. My brothers! The Caelin bandits will not let this stand. Or Ganelon, whatever their names are. I don't really care. They're bandits. Screw them. Okay, so Lyn gets a level up. Just skill. Not great. Not really happy with that level up, but whatever. She'll get plenty in this playthrough, I'm sure. That's finally taken care of. Lyn! Florina, why did you follow me? It's so dangerous. Do you remember the knighting ceremony of the Pegasus Knights of Ilia? Yes, you joined a band of freelance soldiers to further your training. Is that what brought you here, Florina? Uh-huh. I wanted to talk to you before you set out. But when I went to Sakai, I heard you'd left with some strangers and... You were worried for me? Thank you, but I'm more worried about you. Me? Listen, most mercenaries are men, right? Bands of men? I can't imagine you being at all comfortable around them. I know. It's just, I've always dreamt of being a Pegasus Knight. I imagine I would just work it out somehow. After today, I'm not so sure. Maybe I should just give up. Florina, don't cry. Yes, there's no reason to give up your dream. Lovely Florina, I have the most brilliant idea. Sane. You should come with us. With the addition of Will here, we're a fine group of soldiers. And freelance to boot. Wait, did you just include me? Of course. We were destined to meet here. It's fates. Come now. Lindis's band of mercenaries is as good a training group as you will find anywhere. Saying this is no joking matter. Lindis? Lyn? Mercenaries? I can give you the details later. This is all a bit rushed. However, Sane is right. Will you come with us, Florina? Travel with you, Lyn? Truly? I would be so happy. Fantastic, beauteous Florina. I am a knight of Caelin. My name is Sane. Eek! Stay back, don't get so close. Ah, beautiful and yet so modest. I beg your forgiveness, calling us mercenaries? No, I approve. We can't leave Florina on her own. She requires special attention, though. Can I count on you? Yes, you have but to ask. So, is it really alright if I travel with you? Oh, yes, of course, if you're willing, Will. Actually, I'm very grateful. Truth be told, all of my money was stolen, and I'm at a bit of a crossroads. I would be honored to count myself as one of Lindis's legion. Lindis's legion. This is getting stranger with every day, Slim. Yes, it is. And I think that's where we're going to end it in this video. Again, kind of a long video, but again, these first videos going to be very, very unpredictable. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Later, folks.